All right, so here it is another day, just doing a little more splitting. Firewood is not going to last a whole lot longer. So it's in February now. I think today's the 6th. So it's not going to last that much longer. We went from -1 and then the next week to 60 degrees. So today is not even very cold, but we are supposed to get another cold front, I think. Dropping down, below freezing, if I'm not mistaken, even some more snow. So if that happens, the sales will probably pick back up. But I've got something else in mind that I'm going to try this coming year, probably. There's two options for us this year, me and my wife. Well, there's more than that, but there's two things that we really got our mind on. And one is either getting this piece of land or this home that we were looking at. It's a cheap little fixer-upper home with land. Either getting that or investing into this business that I'm thinking about trying, that my dad and them used to do, which is roofing. I'm thinking about trying roofing out because I've done it before. I've laid shingles and stuff like that. I would just have to learn how to do the cuts and stuff like that because Dad would normally do that when I would work with them. But you can make really good money doing it. It's very hard work. It's actually harder than firewood is, more physical. And you bend over a lot, and it's just very hot work. So I would want to keep losing weight, really, to do that. And it takes a lot of strength, too, really, because those shingles are not light, and you got to carry a lot of bundles up on the roofs. You got to remove all the shingles. I'm considering that. I'm not saying for sure, but that's what my dad and Papa on them used to do and did really well with it. And that's what I used to, when I would go with them as a little boy, I would pick up the shingles and stuff like that. I was really probably around 8 or 9 years old, or even younger, maybe 7. But it's very good memories to me, and so I'm debating on giving that a go and having Dad kind of show me how to cut and stuff like that, and then kind of taking off from there, because Dad will do some jobs with me probably. He'll probably be happy to do it. He even told me before if I got the equipment, he would do it with me. And so I'm debating on investing in all that. And see, a dump truck would help me with roofing and with firewood. And firewood would work well, just like lawn care did for me, because roofing would, because it would be in the warmer months, it'd be very busy, very likely. As long as I got customers, I'd have to build it just like I did with lawn care. And then firewood would keep me busy in the winter. So it would work out very well, I think. So I'm debating that. Like I said, between that or a piece of land. But anyways, as I said, I'm kind of just splitting here. We get it loaded up. And I think there's different days here all meshed together. Sometimes I get so busy with it that I don't even record, because it is time consuming to record for sure. And sometimes I just don't feel like making the extra effort to do that. But anyways, I think I'm almost done here. This is, as I've said before, all white oak. Lots of people think it's cedar. It does look like cedar kind of where the bark is off of it. They debark it there. And here a little bit, me and Steve actually ended up going to the Stave mill together. The man that took a picture with me the other day. And me, him, and Carter went together, and he brought his dual axle trailer with him. And so I actually went to the office to ask them, and that's the first time I'd ever been there, and I show footage of that later. And it looked like the area where they debark it at and everything. I'd never seen that side of the Stave mill, that area of the Stave mill before. But when I went to the office to ask them, to have somebody load his trailer for him. And so if you ever go there and you need somebody to load you, if you've got a trailer or a dump truck or whatever, flatbeds they may load as well, then you don't take a left to go back to the wood. You go straight ahead and pull into the parking lot, and there's an office over there, and you just go in there and ask them, and they'll call somebody for you to come back there and fill your truck up or trailer or whatever. But I'll show that footage here a little bit later. And that man's so nice. He was wanting to the whole reason he was wanting to go to a Stave mill with me. For one thing, we delivered to his friend. His friend, I delivered to that morning. So here it is, kind of the area where the office is at and everything. But we delivered to his friend. He said, I want to go with you and help you unload. And so I met him over there in Moorhead. He had his truck and trailer. He rode with me in my truck. We went to his friend's house and unloaded there. And he paid me and then gave me a mall as well, which was very kind of him. And then after that, there he is right there. We went to the Stave mill, and he got all that load, and he said he wanted to bring it over here to my home, and it is so kind of him. I said, I'd be embarrassed for you to even see my place, honestly. It's a rough little place that we live in. It ain't nothing fancy. And I'd be embarrassed for you to even see it. I said, you take that wood out. You know, that's so much they's trying to do for me. And so we ended up bringing it to his place here and unloaded it. And as you see, you get a lot of sawdust and stuff with it as well, which I wouldn't mind as much, because that right there would be perfect for an area to split, you know, hand split the way that I do. Throw that stuff down on the ground and make you a little kind of a staging area or a splitting area, you know, to keep your axe and the wood out of the mud. Because I've split it in the mud before, and when you're hand splitting, and you know, you load it straight up from there and it's got mud all over it. Now, you don't want to bring that to customers like that. I have before, and it's not a good thing to do. So if you had something like that, you know, just a pretty good size area where you could split it and sawdust like that, it would be a lot better. But as you can see there, I like his place a lot back there behind. It's a big field. They were putting a new roof on for him, actually, while we were there. See that truck in the background, their ladder racks and stuff? They were putting a metal roof on his place there. And so I've never done a metal roof, but I'd be happy to learn, and gutters and everything. But I have done numerous shingle ones. When I was a teenager, I did it some, and then as an adult as well. Me and Dad did a pretty big, steep one right down the road here. And I am afraid of heights, but I can do it with roofing, and I got more comfortable when I roofed, you know, with it. But Dad did not continue roofing, you know, like my papa did. My papa died young, and he roofed a lot, was very good at, not just roofing, he was very good at construction. He was a very good carpenter. He was just a very good builder. But roofing, my dad and uncle worked with him a lot, and they all did it together. It was called Rogers and Sons. That's my last name is Rogers. And my papa's business, I remember it. I think it had like two hammers crossing each other, and it said Rogers and Son. And it seems like, if I remember right, it was just a white business card with black letters. But anyways, there's Steve in the background there. You remember me and him got a picture together. And he's just such a helpful man. He wanted to take his trailer and load that up and bring it all to me. That's how kind he is. He texted me today and asked me if there was any way he could help me today. So that's how kind that man is. But tell me what you all think about the roofing thing. It's very physical work. Something I've found about myself, and you've heard me mention many things. You've heard me mention driving a tow truck, hot shot trucking, this, that. One thing that's for sure is I like working for myself. And I'm willing to take the steps to try to make things happen. And so roofing for me is something I've done. I know I can do it. Here's a little trailer I got from Ronald. I painted it, put some brand new lights on it, and bought a brand new tire for it today. This is completely off subject, but I'll get back to it later. All right, here we go again. I've got this. As you can see, it looks like a trucker headset, which I guess that's what it is. I got it at the dollar store here a little bit ago. It reminds me of when I was driving a truck, a big semi-truck. But it should pick the audio up pretty good. We've got almost a truckload in here of wood, and the reason I say almost, I've got it to deliver a truckload, and I've got a double face cord load, so I've got $300 worth of wood to do today. And now this one's already split, but there's a little bit of space left in there. And I don't know if you remember this or not, but the other day when I went to my mom's, I brought a big load of rounds from the Stave mill to there and split them there at my mom's. And it made so much wood, more than I thought it would, that it made a big load for me, you know, up to those wooden rails back there. And then there was still, I think, 4 or 5 big rounds left. So I left some space back there to get those rounds, and that's what I'm doing so I can get them off my mom's place there. So me and Carter are heading over there right now. My little nephew's been wanting to see Carter. So Carter, I'm going to drop him off while I'm there. He's going to stay there. I'm going to pick those rounds up and load them and take them onto a guy in Menifee County, which is a county next to my mom there. And then from there, after I deliver his, he left the money there for me. He's a first-time customer, but he left the money there for me under a little statue thing, he said. And took a picture of where to stack it at. So I have people do that quite a bit, you know. They'll show me where they want it at, and they'll take a picture of it and show me where the money's at as well. And that's fine with me. And so anyways, I'm taking him that load, and then I'm heading straight to the Stave mill to get a big load. So it'll be $300 worth of wood today. And but one thing's for sure, it had there for a while, we were getting up in the 60s. Now today's in the 30s again, which is good for somebody doing firewood. But I don't know how long it'll stay like that, you know. If February ends up being cold, you know, then I may do it firewood through the rest of the month. But it won't be too much long before firewood pretty much comes to an end for me. And then I'll continue doing videos of hand splitting and stuff like that, like I always have. And maybe some other stuff too. I have some other things in mind. I like sharing things with people. And I know some people are interested in them, some aren't. But a lot of y'all I consider friends on there now. Even though we haven't met in person, some of us, I don't think you have to necessarily meet to consider one another a friend. you can do things for one another and everything without meeting. And which that being said, I'd like to meet many of you. It's been great meeting lots of people at the Stave mill here lately. But we're on the road right now here a while back to where I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it was a really bad road. It's a back road where this woman had got stuck, and this guy was trying to help push her back up onto the road, and we're on that road right now. And I'll show you kind of what it looks like.
Where was she?
Going back that way. Mm-hmm. So now we're going on the gravel, and once we get to the other end of this road here, we will be in Menifee County. I'm right now in Bath County. The name of the city is Owingsville, and I'm going to, I believe, Frenchburg, but I'm not positive right now. These Amish have a lot of structures and stuff here. Somebody over there at that Amish place right now, actually, building something else. Looks like a barn. Big one. Say about all the Amish burn wood. Really pretty low road here. The Amish probably really get to take this stuff in because they're on horse and buggy, so they're really taking in the trees, you know, the scenery, the animals, everything when they're out here. So they probably really take all this stuff in. They've got piles of wood along the woods there, probably where they've cleaned it up. They've cut it in a firewood size round and kind of stacked it on the edge of this field here. A lot of down wood in them on those hills, as you see. So that little tilt trailer you're seeing there, it has a mesh floor on it. I put a brand new tire and wheel on it, painted it, put brand new lights and a harness on it. I got it from Ronald for I think $140, and I'm asking $400 for it. And I actually met a guy today who drove a good ways to get it, and then he tried to talk me down, and I told him no. So he wasted his trip and my time a little bit, but I'm not gonna get rid of it and take a big loss on it if I can help it. But anyways, I wanted to mention that trailer. All right, so I'm going to somewhere in Menifee County called Wellington, Kentucky. And right around me here, a lot of this is the Daniel Boone National Forest. So years ago, I was going to get a permit to come out here, or to go out to the National Forest, but it just didn't make as much sense for me as lots of other things. But some very beautiful scenery out here. We've got Cave Run Lake and just lots of the Fort Boonesboro. It's an actual fort in Boonesboro, Kentucky. And but anyways, I thought I wanted to mention that a little bit. It's very neat. We have some beautiful scenery here in Kentucky if you're ever able to come. There's a lot of pretty places here in Kentucky. Beautiful, beautiful forests and rivers and streams and creeks. I remember reading this online. It said Kentucky has more bodies of running water than any other state in the United States except for Alaska. And Alaska is huge, and we all know how much water and stuff it has. But other than that, Kentucky has the most. So, but anyways, I'm going to try to get a little bit more scenery here and show you. And I'm heading right now to this guy's place. This is a first-time customer for me, so I get a lot of those. So I'll look for his mailbox or something, and he kind of sent me some stuff, and I'll put it in my notes as well to look out for. But hopefully the GPS is pretty accurate and it leads me right to him. All right, so I'm looking for 621, and that was not it where it led me back there. So the GPS wasn't accurate on this one. I may have been here before, actually, but 621 is what we're looking for, Camp Judy Lane. Back there, it was like 473 or something like that. May have to call this man. He's a truck driver. Every now and then this happens to where, you know, it's a little bit tough to find them. Camp Judy Lane. That was 571, so we should be getting to, right here, 621. Okay, 621. It's going right there beside his place, so I'm going to back in there. I'm going to put my hazards on because I'm going to have to get out on the road here. Not really the best spot to do this. All right, so I'm going to back in real quick. I'm going to have to take this road, so I'm going to do this quick. Come on, hit reverse here. So let's get out and see what we got here. I'll show you. I don't think he's here. I'm not positive, but I don't think he is. But we'll get out and I'll show you. Put this headset on for now. Beautiful place. Like that. Welcome Tour Lodge. That's cool. All right, I got that load done. So I talked to him for quite a while. Probably around 20 minutes or so. He gave me an extra $20, so that was very nice of him. I didn't ask him for it. And I didn't think he was going to be home, but he walked out when I was there, and I was recording at first, kind of just showing his place. He had a nice place, or showing the statue that he had hanging on the wall. But anyways, he was a truck driver too, and we got to talking about trucks and things for a little bit. And I think he said he's got 30 years of experience, so he's a very experienced driver. But it's neat to hear from truck drivers. There's lots of people, you know, that have experience in certain fields, especially when they've got a lot of experience, because usually when they do, they've got a lot of neat stories. And they like to talk as well, you know. But anyways, so now I've got that one done, $120 for that one. I'm heading on to get this next one, and it's a $200 load, so it's a big load. So I'm heading to the Stave mill right now. And once I get there, I'll update. It's mainly, I guess, this video just kind of firewood deliveries. It's looking like so. But anyways, I hope y'all are having a blessed day. I appreciate each and every one of your kind words, and very thankful and grateful for all the people that I've met in person and on YouTube that I've got to speak to on YouTube. But anyways, once I get there, I'll plan to update. I'm going to focus on just driving for now and maybe listen to some stuff on my phone, and then as I said, once I get there, I'll update. Okay, I have Carter with me again now. He's got a little hot chocolate over there. Got me a coffee right there. And now we're heading to the Stave mill. We're on the road right now to the Stave mill, so we're heading out there planning to get a big load, and then once I got that loaded and ready to go, I'll upload. So that load is pretty close to here in Morehead, if I'm not mistaken. This load is coming from Curtis. So Curtis, thank you very much. I don't know if you see this or not, Curtis, but he's somebody that I met at the Stave mill. He's the first person that I met at the Stave mill that said they watched me on YouTube, and he's got me now quite a few different customers to deliver to. So I'm very thankful for that. Some of them I've even delivered to more than once already. But we're on our way to the Stave mill right now, and then once we get there and get it loaded and everything, I'll update later once we're on our way to the delivery. I apologize for the audio. That audio was not that great with that headset. So usually they work really good with their microphones, but it was not so good that time. Now here, me and Carter are going back to the Stave mill. This was the second load we delivered this day, or that I delivered this day. He stayed at my mom's with my nephew while I did it. But I delivered a truckload, and then I went back there and got a big load. And I made $340 that day altogether, because I made $120 on the truckload and $220 on the big load. As you can see here, they're loading that dump truck. And when they come in there, if there's a good pile of wood and a big dump truck like that, they really take a lot of it. And now you can see it's starting to get dark here. And it was dark when I delivered it. It was a little drive away, and it started raining too. But we got it done, and it ended up making a pretty good amount of money that day. But I appreciate each and every one of you. You all be safe. God bless.